Hi fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will be cutting corset for beginners. If this is what you're interested in, this gown, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you have any question, do drop it on the comment section. All right, so we will be cutting corset in this video. All right, so you know how we do it. Basically, this is a gown, and for you to achieve the fullness on the down part of this dress is you can go for 720 flay. All right, it will give it it will be more fuller. But let's talk about the calculation. This is the calculation I'm working with. Shoulder 16, bust 36, waist 30, hip 16 plus 1, bust point 10, under bust 11, 13 and a half. Nipple to nipple is 8. You divide by 2. All right, so watch my bust and waist. I divided by 4. You already know why we do that, because we fold our fabric into 4 places when cutting. Then whatever it gives you, watch what I added. When you're sewing corset, you are adding allowance. You're either adding it when cutting it on the fabric, or you add it when cutting. All right, and I added 4. So guys, according to my calculation, the highest is 14. I just measured it. Okay, once you measure and ascertain that your width is with your highest measure, then you start marking. Now what I marked now is 8, which is my armhole depth. Okay, you start marking all the necessary lines. This is my bust point, which is 10. Okay, on the bust 13 and a half, and half length. Okay, looking at this dress, you can see it stopped, the fitted part, corset part stopped right at the waistline. Okay, so it is my half length that the corset, that is where it stops. All right, now while you indicate them out, you properly use your rule and mark them out properly. Okay, once you have done that, you got to label them out, indicating your bust, waist, hip, and other bust points. But first, before doing that, mark your shoulder. That is my shoulder. I marked 16 divided by 2, um which gives me 8, and that is what I just marked. Okay, so having it this way, basically just their basic pattern. All right, you can see what the lines are for, and what it is. That is my shoulder, bust point, under bust, and waist. Okay, now once you have done that, the next you start marking out your measurements. Now your allowance, you can either add it now or when cutting. After drafting it out, you when cutting it on the fabric, you add it. But in this video, please add it on the pattern paper. All right, my bust, I marked it, I added my allowance. My waist is 7.5. Now on the waist, I went for 4 inches. On the bust, you can go for 3 inches if you choose to. It's matter of choice. Okay, my 4 inches, I added 4 inches to the waist. All right, the hip, the bust, I went for 3, or you can go for 4, whichever one you can see. So whichever one is okay. What I'm trying to say is you don't need much allowance. You can go for 3 on the bust, and the waist part is where you need major allowance. So you curve your armhole. Once you curve your armhole, this is like our basic pattern. It is ready. Okay, now once you have your basic pattern, the next thing you need to mark out is your nipple to nipple. All right, which you already know it is 4. I added half, it is 4.5. What is how did I get it? Remember, my nipple is 8, so I divided it by 2 and added half inches. So we are marking 4.5 inches as our nipple to nipple. So you mark it where you label B, you come down to your waist. Okay, and you equally label mark it at the B, at the waist part of it. This is the W part of it. So once you mark it, you connect, take your rule and connect it. Okay, once you've connected it, just like I'm doing, That is our nipple to nipple. Okay, the distance between your both um nipples. Now the next thing you need to do is come at this point. This is the connect. So guys, our nipple to nipple, you come under the bust. All right, that line you drew under the bust, you mark 1 inches on both sides. You equally come at the waist, 1 inches from both sides. This side 1 inches, the other side 1 inches. Okay, you get your rule and you connect. Okay, watch how I'm connecting it. That is the first thing you do. All right, this way, this is one of the easiest way of just getting your corset, drafting your corset for beginners. Okay, now once you have done that, circle your bust point here the way I just did. All right, once you have done this, get your rule tape. You watch what I'm measuring. I'm measuring 3.5. Now what determines what you're to measure? What determines it is your nipple to nipple. Okay, it is 8. So if your nipple to nipple is 8, go for 3.5. The minimum you can go for is 3 inches. You can go 3 inches, or another thing is the bust point. How exposing do you want the breast to be? But in this case, I'm marking all around 3.5. You can see the distance from your bust point to your under bust is also equally another way of measuring it round. Okay, so having indicated it, I'll just connect them. You can see how I'm connecting them all. It's just like forming a circle, getting a center, then you pivot it round to get a circle. Okay, looking at it, some part is not circling as should be, but don't worry, we'll get there. We use French curve. Then once you have done that, from here, half inches. Okay, half inches. You see that? That is half inches from that point. You use it and mark. What are you connecting? The 1 inches you measure down. You're using it to connect it. You see how I'm connecting it? I use the down part of my French curve to do that. 1.5 inches from the bust point down, you start this connection I'm doing. Okay, another thing is you equally come up here where I'm pointing at, connect it straight. Okay, then let's just form it is this straight. All right, then at that same point you mark 1 inches the same way you marked the other part. Okay, the same thing you did at the down part is what you equally do, half inches above the bust point. Okay, before you start using your French curve to connect it, just as I'm doing. Watch. You can see how I'm connecting it. Okay, now this is the first step. All right, if you have gotten to this third level, you're almost done. Yes. So once you've gotten this, the next thing is we need to, if you watch the dress, in between the two cup there is a straight line. Okay, a straight part. So from the B, you either measure half inches down, or you can leave it at the B, or you measure half inches down just like I did, and half inches the other way, half inches in width. All right, so you can see what I did, half inches. All right, once you indicate it, you get your French curve, connect it from this part. You can see where that other where you measured 1 inches, the other part, connect it down. Okay, this way. Then the next thing you need to do is your armhole depth. You know that is your B. You can either come 1 inches, half inches, or you equally leave it where it is. But in this video, I'm coming half inches down. All right. So once you've gone half inches down the princess dart, the armhole part, sorry, you can from here you place your rule and connect it this way. Okay, slanted a little bit. All right, now once you've done that, you get your French curve, you know, give it that curve. Once you've gotten the curve, it shouldn't be, you know, straight like that. Then another thing is get your French curve. Remember when we were marking the circle, it wasn't, I told you we'll still connect it back. So get your French curve. You can see how I placed it. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to make sure the curve is well placed. You can see what I did. All right. The same thing, you equally do it the other side. From the under bust to the bust point this way, you know, to get that curvy part of it very well. All right, once you have done that, then you need to indicate your, you need to get your French thing is for you to connect this part. Okay, you can see how I place the French curve, connect it. All right, the next thing is we need that same half inches. All right, you marked, get your tape, that same half inches. All right, mark it again. Then this time around you're connecting it to the last curve we did. Watch how I place my rule. All right, straight down. Now what are we trying to do? We're trying to give it the curve the needed. All right, now once you connect it, you use your French curve. You can see what I'm doing. Make sure it is properly curved. Okay, that is the first thing. Now once you have looking at it this way, the next thing is for you to cut. Okay, watch what I'm cutting. I'm starting from that half inches, that center front, to cut. I will be using this pattern for my back. Okay, so therefore I will not be cutting everything. I'll just need to cut the basics, the upper part, the side, and the down part of it. Okay, now this is my front pattern. I've got it, my front pattern. You can see how it is. Okay, haven't gotten our front pattern. I'll place. Now I'm trying to get the back of this dress. If the back of your corset will be going for zip, I'm assuming you're using zip, especially for a starter. So if it is zip, you mark your zip allowance. If it is not zip, you know, there's no need marking your zip allowance. But for this, there will be zip at the back. Okay, we are working with zip. So you place it. First thing, we are trying to get the back, so, and they will be zip. So first thing is to mark our zip allowance. All right, first thing is our zip allowance, and I'm going for 1.5. Okay, whatever you decide to use as your zip allowance is your choice. Okay, but it should not be too much, at most 2 inches. But for this course of this I'm going for 1.5. All right, then that excess, you can see how I folded this folding. What is it for? I'm trying to achieve the back. The back is the same. The back is just straight, you know, with the same level with the armhole depth. So I folded the excess in and placed it to cut, because the back is the same level with the armhole depth, but from the armhole depth down. Then for the waist of this back, now measuring the waist now is of no use, so let's just cut the width first. All right, I've gotten the width, the up and down. The next, sorry, the height, not the width. You can see what I'm doing. Now this is my zip allowance, which is 1.5 inches. Okay, the back is just straight from the armhole depth downwards, So having gotten this, the next thing, this is my B and this is my C. Sorry, and this is my W. This is the waist. Okay, I just indicated it. I'll come and measure my bust measurement. Now the allowance you add to the front is different from the back. The back doesn't have much, just a normal dart. So I've marked 9.5. I will be adding 2 inches as my allowance. Okay, the same thing at the waist. Waist is 7.5. I'm adding 2 inches. So for the back, I'm using 2 inches. You can go with 2 inches. You can go with 3 inches. Okay. So I've marked it with my sewing with the accurate measurement and my sewing allowance. So the next thing, I'll use my rule to connect. You get that? Use my rule to connect. Then you cut. Good. So this is my back. All right, and let's get the front part of it. So that's my front pattern. Okay, you can see it, how it is. All right, now it's looking more like it. If it is not, let me know in the comment section. So this is it. Okay, the back. Now mind you, you can equally deepen the back if you want it more. Okay, so before we continue, let's cut the front pattern. We are yet to cut the front pattern. Now this gown, the down part of it, remember it is flay. You can go with 720 flay, to give you that fullness. You can work with that. You can attach hard net to it, for that bulkness. So watch what I'm cutting. Cutting first, I'm going straight with the, can see what I did? That is it. I see that very well. Okay, it's looking wide, right? Yes, it will be wide because we are yet to cut the down part of the, but first place that we will be cutting it is this one first before we continue cutting on the pattern. And watch what I cut. One down, this part 2. You have to place it very well. You cut, you can see it. Make sure no part is moving at all. No part should move when cutting. So we have cut it. Okay, now another thing is, before you start working on, especially when you have done this cutting, you need to indicate so you don't make mistake. Now this is it. You can use arrow to indicate. Okay, 1, this is my 2. Use arrow to indicate. The same thing I'll do to the back. All right, use arrow, and this is my 1, this is my 2. Okay, when you indicate, it makes it easy. And when cutting it on the fabric, please do not When it's time to cut it on the fabric, once you're done cutting, do not take the paper off. You only take the paper pieces, the 1 and 2 off when you're about to sew it. All right, do not take them off for any reason. Now I'll be using pin to pin this. Let's see if it curves. Did it curve? Is it giving us the breast tube, the corset curve that we need? If it is not curving, let's know. So I'll use pin to curve, but I don't think this pin will be of any use. It's not curvy, so I'll just use sellotape. Okay, let's try. If we didn't give it, we'll use sellotape to go do this. You have to use sellotape to curve it very well, so we'll be able to good. It didn't curve the way it should. It didn't give me what I want. So let's get tape and do that. The best for your pre-see. Now what I used to do this is tape. Now looking at it, you can see it's wide. It's too wide. Do not worry. Cut this off. Cut this off. Bring it back together. Boom. Here you go. Does it give you what you want? Now, if you have any question, do not forget to drop it on the comment section. Give this video a like up. Please try this out with a pattern paper. As a beginner, pattern paper should be your first fabric. Pattern paper should be your fabric, should be your trial, should be your error. Try this out with pattern paper. Looking at you can see I got what I wanted. Okay, I don't need to be told. All right, I got what I wanted, and if you think I didn't get it, let me know on the comment section. All right, and if you think it is giving, let me see it on the comment section. Just drop it is giving. Okay, so you can see it. All right, it gave us the curve. Now for the back has a dart. All right, normal waist dart. You can cut through and sew back. Okay, just write, this is my nipple to nipple that I used, divided by 2 is what I use. Okay, indicate it, then half inches is what you take at the back. There's no bust on the back, so inches is what you need. Once you indicate it, this side ½ inches, the other side ½ inches, take your rule, connect it. Okay, connect it. You can see that. All right, good. Then you take your scissors and cut. You can either sew it up or you cut through. All right, you can see what I'm doing. So my back piece and front piece is ready. All I need is just place it on the fabric and trace it out. Remember, each of these pieces, do not throw it away for any reason. Leave it with the fabric. It is only when you're sewing that you will be needing it. Okay, so this is it. No, this didn't go well. Let's the other side. Okay, should be the other side. So let's shift this side and place this, not even this side, this way. Yes, so that is our upper part. Remember I told you the best way for this down part of this dress, 2 things: 720 flay. For those that do not know how to cut 720, let me know in the comment section. It will be my next video. Okay, 720 flay is what you cut for the down, and you can add hard net to it. You can pleat it. Okay, if you choose to. It is pleated a little bit. Okay, that means you have to cut your 720. It has to be SS. The waist has to be SS, so you'll be able to pleat. And again, the kind of fabric you're to use for this, you cannot use crepe, you cannot use light fabrics. This fabric is more like a brocade and all the rest of them. All right, so if you have any question, guys, let me know on the comment section. All right, now you can see what she tied. That is just belt, or you can call it belt, you can call it band, whichever one. Just fold enough. Alright, once you fold, you attach it. Now you can attach it where I placed it now, or you go a little bit after the where I placed it, go a little bit down to attach it, whichever way, but it should not be too close. So looking at it, is it giving or not? Let me know on the comment section. Now this is the easiest way you sew your corset. It makes it more easy.